Okay, so hello everyone. You hear me? Okay. Um, okay, I will begin in shouting. Welcome everyone to the VR meetup dedicated to VR in healthcare. My name is Marine Haverland and I'll be your host for today. And then let me detail a little bit the agenda of the night. So we will begin with the keynote speakers. After that, we will have a short break. And then we will have pitches. And all the way through, we will have demos. There's over there and there. So feel free to try the demos as well. So regarding the speakers, we will have Raphael Grossman, Jenny Dwering, and Mathieu Egloff from Watt. And regarding pitches and demos, we have One Bonsai, On Comfort, Lucid Web, Noia, and Pulpio. So this is a VR meetup. We used to do it for more than 4 years now. And the objective of the meetup is really to gather people working in VR in general, to inspire them through talks, to exchange with the demos, and to do cross-sector platforms, as we do today. We're more than 700 members now. And this meetup is organized today by 2 clusters. The first one is Life Tech Brussels, dedicated to healthcare, and the other one, Screen Brussels, dedicated to audiovisual in general, and among that, to VR. So this is it for me, for my part now. I will introduce you to the first speakers. It's Raphael Grossman. He's a MD and a surgeon based in the US. He's really a healthcare innovator, and he did the first operation with Google Glasses, actually. And it's really an honor to host him tonight. So, Raphael, the floor is yours.
So just like this in the top of my head, like this? Okay. It's gotta be here? Okay, wait, okay. All right, and this is on already? All right, great. Well, can you hear me? I think probably without the mic, I think you can. Sorry, I can't speak in French, only in Spanish or English. So. But anyways, it's really a pleasure to be here. It's really an honor. You know, I've never been in Belgium before, and being in Brussels and Antwerp has been really a nice experience. So thank you for the invitation to Marine and the team, and for hosting me. So anyways, I'm a surgeon. That's what I do in my real life, in my full-time job. And I'm sorry, Marine, I'm gonna ask someone to maybe give me like a 10-minute. You know, when I have 10 minutes left, just let me know so I know where to go. But anyways, so I'm a clinical practitioner, and on the side of that, I've developed as someone who has a lot of passion for technology and for making technology work for us to provide better healthcare and better education for healthcare. So that got me to a place, a think tank of sorts in California at Silicon Valley called Singularity University, and they have a health track that is called Exponential Medicine. And I went and did their program a number of years ago, and I met the inventor of Google Glass back then in 2013. And then, you know, I thought that tool could really change the way we did many things, including healthcare and education. For those of you who don't know Google Glass or haven't seen Google Glass, you know, it's really like a frame in front of your eyes, and it's the equivalent of almost like the rear view mirror of a car when you're driving. It's not meant to watch a movie or read a book. It's just a little screen that you look up, and it's connected to the internet, and you can take pictures or video or do live streaming. So it's really a phenomenal tool to connect us and make us communicate better. So as you can see there, it's really a number of things. Anything you can do with a smartphone or with a computer, you can do with Google Glass. Have any of you had experience with Google Glass before? Or so yeah, it's been around for a while, and in medicine, it's really keeping its use in the background. But in any case, I thought that it should be a great tool to use during an operation to teach the students, rather than having them peek behind you and whatnot, trying to find a good space to watch and to have a first row seat. You know, we can stream the operation from the perspective of the surgeon. So I did that operation, and it was a nice experience for them, and they loved it. And then we wrote a little post, and that went viral. And so the rest is a little bit of history. But you know, this is the way we learn surgery. You know, it's an apprenticeship. It's you watch, and then you know, after you watch enough, you start doing stuff. So old operating theater, you know, it's spectators watching in the lower, you know, ground to see how things happen. So we should be able to improve on that. I think Google Glass, by giving the user the perspective, you know, of the surgeon, the point, the focal point of the surgeon, you can really improve the learning. And so I thought that could be a cool way to do it, and so we did it that way, and it was really successful. And a lot of people is using Google Glass or similar tools in order to improve how people learn. But also, you know, it can give you alerts. You know, it's like a digital secretary of sorts, a digital assistant. Imagine Google Now for healthcare. You know, where you can have important information that you cannot forget in order to prevent mistakes. Alerted to you, as you, like if you're taking a plane and the gate changes and you get an alert on your phone, the same thing. So in healthcare, you know, a tool like this could be really life-saving and decrease the number of errors that we make. And it's not a new, you know, thing. You know, you all remember Terminator. This is 25 years ago, and you know, already Hollywood was doing, you know, this kind of stuff. I had mounted displays with computerized, and it's all sci-fi back then, but we have this stuff already, you know, 25, 30 years later. So it's really something that happens in healthcare now, but it had been predicted in a way, you know, decades ago, like many other things in Hollywood, you know. And this is the way we do healthcare, right? You go to the doctor's office and they greet you, and then they turn around from you and they start asking you questions, and where does it hurt? And you know, they try to completely separate it from you. A tool like this could improve how we connect with the patients, you know, and you know, here you really don't pay attention to the patient that much. You separate yourself because you have to deal with the technology, and you have to populate the medical record, which is all electronic. So it's really frustrating in a way, frustrating for the patient especially, but also for the provider, because we must do the other stuff, and then we should be able to have to do the patient, but we kind of forget about the patient, focusing on the technology in the wrong way. So a tool like Google Glass, you could have Google Glass on, and you could be looking at the patient's, you know, face to face, and interact with the patient, and have a rear view mirror with information about that patient, and then improve the relationship in a way, the empathy between provider and patient in ways that we can't really do otherwise. You really a face-to-face connection. So it's pretty intuitive use, but we don't do it that way. And there's a company called Augmetics right now. They have digital scribes, virtual scribes, humans located somewhere else, and through glass they're watching the interaction, and they're populating the medical record electronically. So at the end of the visit, the provider goes to the computer and everything is there. So you don't have to really pay attention to the computer. You pay attention 100% of the time to the actual patient, and that improves obviously everything, you know, satisfaction, outcomes, etc., etc. And they can see more patients, so the hospitals like that because they can see more patients in the same amount of time. So in the hospitals, you know, no matter how advanced your hospital is, you still use paper, you know, lumps, you know, with all the patient information. I sit in the computer and get all the patient data, write it down, and then walk around for, you know, for hours doing my rounds, making information based on the information on the data that I populated on the paper. It's ridiculous. Imagine if I lose that paper in the cafeteria with all that patient information. It's crazy. So we should be able to do better, you know, today in the year 2018, you know, in the 21st century, we shouldn't be doing it this way. A friend of mine, Lucien Engelen from Radboud University in Nijmegen, made this video, a proof of concept with glass, and you know, you have all the patient information there on the glass, and if you have a question, you can even call up, you know, a provider, and the provider can show up as a Skype call, but secure, and give you advice and give you guidance on how to treat that particular patient. So using technology in a smart way. So that created sort of a passion for me to use technology in a wise manner, in a smart manner, a smart way to improve what we do. And I created a website which is completely non-commercial and it's just educational. And I started being more and more active in social media, in Twitter and in LinkedIn, and trying to preach the message of technology, really helping us do a better job. And as you all know, because you probably either are on the healthcare side or on the patient side, that's everyone is in one or the other side. Healthcare is a disaster, it's in trouble, and not just only in third world countries